They told you that you're free, free to speak, free to choose, free to live your own truth. But what if that freedom was just another illusion? What if everything you call choice is just the result of years of invisible training? Because here's the uncomfortable truth. Most people are not free. They're just very well trained, trained to obey, trained to consume, trained to stay quiet and call it peace, trained to live small, think smaller, and call it virtue. You go to school not to learn how to think, but to memorize, repeat, and obey authority. You enter the workforce not to create, but to trade your time for comfort, your voice for security, your soul for approval. You build a life around avoiding rejection, around fitting in, around being acceptable enough to not be punished. They don't need to lock you in a cell, they just teach you to fear your own mind. You are not free if you can go a day without checking how others perceive you. You're not free if your ambition scares you more than your mediocrity. You're not free if comfort is your highest goal. You're not free if you fear being misunderstood more than you fear being average. This world doesn't raise individuals, it manufactures products. You were branded from birth, labeled, categorized, measured, sorted, compared. And somewhere along the way, they convinced you that playing small was noble, that following the script was success, that questioning the rules was dangerous. It is. Because thinking for yourself is the most radical act you can commit in a world that thrives on your obedience. Ask yourself, have you ever truly wanted something before being told you should want it? Have your dreams ever been yours, or just echoes of someone else's expectations? The job, the house, the partner, the degree, the vacation, the image. Who are you underneath all that programming? You see, freedom doesn't begin with a passport, or a paycheck, or even a protest. Freedom begins with deconstruction, with a willingness to peel off the layers and see what's really driving your choices. It begins with the question no one wants to ask. Whose voice is this in my head? The one that says you're not good enough. The one that says don't try. The one that says you'll fail. Was that voice ever truly yours? Or was it installed there without your consent? We are all raised in cages built from beliefs, and most people never question the bars. They just decorate them. They hang degrees, they earn trophies, they collect followers, they dress up the cage, but they never try the lock. The truth, the door was never locked. But walking out means letting go of everything you were told makes you valuable. That's why most people never do it. It's safer to stay trained, to stay small, to keep playing by the rules, but safe is a slow death. You don't feel the decay. You just wake up one day empty, not because you failed, but because you succeeded at becoming what they wanted you to be. And now, you don't know who you are without the costume. Here's the harsh reality. You were taught to fear freedom, because freedom comes with responsibility, with uncertainty, with isolation. It means standing alone. It means making your own rules. It means living with no one to blame. But it also means truth, power, and life. Real life. Not survival, not performance, not distraction. Most people are sleepwalking through a dream they didn't design. They react instead of choose. They obey instead of question. They adapt instead of awaken. And the scariest part? They think that's normal. But there's something in you that's different, because you're still watching, you're still listening, you're still searching. And that means your fire isn't out yet. You've seen the cracks in the system, you've heard the glitch in the program, you've felt the friction between what you're told and what you know. So here's the only question that matters now. Are you willing to unlearn, to break the script, to delete the software, to walk out of the cage not knowing what's next, but knowing you'll finally be you? Because you can't awaken and stay comfortable. You can't be free and still crave approval. You can't burn and blend in. This is your fork in the road. One path leads back to comfort, back to scrolling, back to scripted smiles and predictable lives. The other leads into chaos, into questions, into isolation, into power. But it's yours. And once you choose it, you don't get to go back. Because once the mind expands, it cannot shrink. Once you've seen the lie, you cannot unsee it. Once you've awakened, you cannot fall back asleep. If you try, the ache will follow you. If you pretend, the emptiness will echo louder. So if you're still with me, burn the script, reject the training, break the loop, step into the wild unknown, speak even when your voice shakes, stand even when your knees tremble, move even when no one follows. Because this is what freedom feels like. Uncertainty, isolation, power, peace, and finally, truth. The truth of who you are and who you've always been beneath the noise. You are not broken, you're not behind, you are not late. You were just trained, but now you're awake. And when the trained meet the awakened, the world changes. So go, be free, and never, ever go back to sleep.